Hello everybody. At this time we are talking about a feasibility study. A feasibility study is an assessment of the practicality of a proposed plan or project. It analyzes the availability of a project to determine whether the project or venture is likely to succeed. The study is also designed to identify potential issues and problems that could arise while pursuing the project. And then we move to steps in a feasibility study. The first step, conduct preliminary analysis. Second step, prepare a projected income statement. What are the possible revenues that the project can generate? Third, conduct a market survey. Does the project create a good or service that is in demand in the market? What price are consumers willing to pay for the good or service? Fourth, plan the organizational structure of the new project. What are the staffing requirements? How many workers are needed? What are the resources are needed, etc. Fifth, prepare an opening day balance of projected expenses and revenue. Sixth, review and analyze the points of vulnerability that are internal to the project and that can be controlled or eliminated. And finally, seventh, decide whether to go on with the plan or project. And then, what are the benefits of feasibility study? The biggest benefits of a feasibility study are that it increases the likelihood of successful project delivery, helps you avoid costly mistakes, and improves overall project efficiency. This analysis is one of the most valuable steps you can take before launching a project. It is not just about determining whether an idea is possible. It's about making sure your project plan has a strong foundation, realistic expectations, and the best chance of successful delivery. For starters, the report helps you identify potential obstacles early before they turn into costly problems. It allows you to properly assess risks and create mitigation plans, ensuring that your team is prepared for challenges rather than reacting to them under pressure. This means fewer surprises, better decision making, and a smoother execution process. A well-written feasibility analysis also saves time and money by preventing investments in projects that are unlikely to succeed. Instead of committing resources blindly, you gain clarity on whether the project is technically, financially, and operationally viable. If major roadblocks appear, you can adjust the scope, explore alternative solutions, or decide to pivot before costs spiral out of control. And then, why are feasibility studies important? Feasibility studies are essential for assessing whether a proposed project is practical, cost-effective, and aligned with broader goals. They help identify potential issues such as financial risks, logistical roadblocks, identify potential issues like legal complications before significant resources are committed. By uncovering this early, project teams can avoid wasting time and money on unworkable software, unsuitable land use, or developments that could face regulatory hurdles. Feasibility studies also help ensure a project serves its intended audience effectively. For example, they can help determine whether a new facility will meet the needs of the community or if a planned use of land will generate a worthwhile return. Ultimately, these studies guide smarter decision making and promote responsibility investment by clarifying whether a project is both viable and beneficial. And then we move to types of feasibility study. The first types, technical feasibility. In technical feasibility, current resources, both hardware, software, along with required technology, are analyzed to develop project. This technical feasibility study gives a report whether there exists correct required resources and technologies which will be used for project development. Along with this feasibility study, also analyzes technical skills and capabilities if of technical team, existing technology can be used or not. Maintenance and upgradation is easy or not for chosen technology. And then second, resource feasibility. This method evaluates if the resources needed to complete the software project successfully are adequate and readily available. Financial, technological, and human resources are all taken into account in this study. It guarantees that sufficient hardware, software, trained labor, and funding are available to complete the project successfully. And then third, operational feasibility. In operational feasibility, degree of providing service to requirements is analyzed along with how much easy product will be to operate and maintenance after deployment. Along with these other operational scopes are determining usability of product, determining suggested solutions by software development, especially by the team, is acceptable or not. And then fourth, market feasibility. This refers to evaluating the market's willingness and ability to accept the suggested software system. Analyzing the target market, understanding consumer wants, and assessing possible rivals are all part of this study. It assists in identifying whether the project is in line with market expectations and whether there is a feasible market for the good or service being offered. And then fifth, economic feasibility. In economic feasibility study, cost and benefit of the project is analyzed. Means under this feasibility study, a detailed analysis is carried out what will be cost of the project for development, which includes all required costs for final development like hardware and software resource required, design and development costs, and operational costs, and so on. After that is analyze whether project will be beneficial in terms of finance for organizations or not. And then what is included in a feasibility study report? One of the most important steps in starting a business is conducting a feasibility study. This study will help determine if your business idea is viable and has the potential to be successful. Several factors need to be considered when conducting a feasibility study, including the marketability of your product or service, the competition, the financial stability of your company, and more. A feasibility study should cover the amount of technology, resources required, and return on investment. The results of your feasibility studies are summarized in a feasibility report, which typically comprises any sections like executive summary, specifications of the item or service, considerations for the future of technology, the marketplace for goods and services, approach to marketing, organizational on staffing, schedule, the financial forecast, and recommendation based on research. I think it is enough. Thanks for watching.